This was my first time recording audio in the snow. I learned quite a lot, and I'm keen to share what went well and how I can improve on my next trip. So get comfy, kick back, and let's dive in. Did have a quick wander up the road. There's a couple of people, but my hands were freezing. Came back so I could warm them up and then set up the microphone rig. So I've got the Verdi mics and the Sony M10. Oh mate, you're probably just getting loads of wind. I'm gonna set up the microphone in here so then it's not as brutal when I'm carrying it over in a sec. That's the idea. So I'm going to quickly record with the Sony and the Bubblebee Fluffy, just walking up the hill on the snow, because I haven't heard snow like this in years, so it's going to be quite fun. I think we're a bit too close to the road, so let's try and get over that hill. Hopefully you can hear me alright. I'm just going to talk into this one because my WAV is interfering with these mics. Anyway, I've been recording some cool footsteps, close-ups, walking away from them, and in one place a little bit like a Foley pit. So I thought I'd just demonstrate quickly one of the ones that I've been doing, which sounded quite cool. So I have the microphones on the Joby grips, and then they're sort of pointing towards my shoe a bit more, and this means I'm getting some like squelch out of the sides of the shoe. So I'll demonstrate that now. I've got the Verdi mics on here with the Bubblebee Extreme Pro Fluffies, which are doing pretty well. It's quite windy up here. There's a couple of instances where it's a bit too windy for them, but they've actually been doing a really good job, and I'm quite impressed with them. Anyway, I'll show you some examples of what I've been doing. I'll just wait for this goddamn plane to go. Bringing these sort of headphones are really good in this windy, cold environment because you can use them as little earmuffs and they keep your ears nice and warm. But I thought I would just video because I can't get into this little biscuit bar. My hands are so... There we go. Oh my god. This is frozen as well. You need to get some waterproof gloves. I brought some with me, but when it snowed earlier, they just got soaking straight away, so they could just make it even worse. Waterproof gloves and hand warmers are on the list of things to buy, the ever-growing list. I had a pretty sick recording session up here. I thought I'd chance it earlier and just pop up, because it didn't look like there was that much snow. But when I got up, it started snowing again, and that was perfect because that meant I was kind of stuck up here, so I just had to do some recordings and wait for it to melt again. I've captured some cool sounds, really chuffed. I love these sort of ASMR, funky, weird, sludgy, goopy, natural sounds. I think that's my favourite. Anyway, I'm waffling on. I can't feel my feet, I can't feel my hands, so I should probably just wander back to the car now. Let's go. Day 2 started off with a brief visit to Yarna Wood. I thought it would be nice to see a temperate zone in the snow, but the snow didn't really settle. I captured a couple of stream recordings, but decided to head back up to Haytor, and it didn't disappoint. By the time I had arrived, it stopped snowing, and the clear skies revealed a sick landscape. It really didn't seem like I was in Devon anymore. Recording footsteps behind Haytor, I noticed snow and ice melting off of the rock in the sun, so I captured a bit of that too.
The sound of distant traffic was getting worse as more people headed up to Hator. I decided to hike away from the road in search of a quieter spot and some fresher snow. In the distance, I spotted a large open area which looked perfect for recording footsteps on the midside rig. I was planning on doing this handheld. I did 2 long recordings here, one with my waterproofs on and one without. I'll explain why in a sec. Cool, now I'm going to take off the trousers and do the exact same thing but walking back towards the camera. Gracefully done. The idea behind taking off my waterproof clothing was it would isolate the sound of the footsteps more. You're no longer hearing the waterproof fabric scraping as I take each step. Now it's a cleaner recording of just boots on snow. With 500,000 snow footsteps recorded, I captured a quick ambience, then set up the rig to do something a little more creative.
So I don't know how good that recording was. I was just trying to record the general atmos, but I could hear a chainsaw further in the distance that way and a person shouting. So I'm probably just going to focus on trying to record some sampling instead of ambiences, I think, because that Rycote SC08 sounded really nice when I was doing the footsteps earlier. So let's put the gloves back on because I can't feel my hands again. So currently I am picking up pieces of snow because this is like frozen now and it's in like chunks like that, and I'm just skimming it past the Rycote rig, and it's the Rycote MS rig going into the Zoom F6. So let me try and demonstrate it for you. It's spinning from behind and throwing and like skimming it. I thought they were quite cool. So getting some cool samples. This is a big boy. Let's throw some higher up. Just get a little stack. Awesome. This is going to be kicking snow. It's really cool. It's like a snow impact with debris flying around. Oh, it's really hard to stay still.
It was now slowly getting dark and I could hear people playing music in the distance. So I packed up the kit, headed back and prepped for day 3 in the snow. Day 3, I spent some time exploring with Luke and Emma and attempting to sled.
Someone throw it to me.
Between all of the messing around, I set up some contact mics to get a different perspective of recording snow. It's been a week or so since the snow, and listening back to the recordings, I'm really happy. It was a great learning experience, and I've discovered a few things about recording in the snow that I hadn't considered. The main one was when I recorded the impacts and kick sounds. While I was editing them, I noticed the vibration of the impact was transferred through the tripod and into the mics. It's very subtle and it could be EQ'd, but it's something I'm going to try and avoid in the next session, when or if it snows again. Other than that, I'm really chuffed. Cheers to those who've stuck around for the whole video, and as always, big loves and peace out.